Tonight, we begin Skinwalker Week with two true horror stories submitted to Reddit. Both involve things in the wilderness that should not exist, creatures that watch, wait, and perfectly imitate the voices of people you love. If you're listening in the dark, keep the lights on. These are two true horror stories. My best friend called me from inside my tent, but he was standing right next to me. My name's Alex, and for the last 12 years, every October, my best friend Jake and I would disappear into the wilderness for 4 days. No phones, no people, just us, our packs, and the red rock deserts of southern Utah and northern Arizona. We grew up in St. George, raised on stories from Jake's Navajo side of the family about respecting the land, never whistling after dark, never following voices that don't belong. We laughed those stories off as kids, thought they were just old superstitions meant to keep teenagers from doing stupid things at night. Last fall, we chose a remote loop in the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, a section so far out that even most locals avoid it. No marked trails after the first 5 miles, no water sources marked on the map, no cell service for 50 miles in any direction. Perfect. Day 1 was beautiful. Golden cottonwoods along dry washes, ravens circling overhead, the kind of silence that feels holy. We hiked 12 miles and made camp in a shallow sandstone alcove that offered wind protection and a view of the night sky most people never get to see. We cooked freeze-dried chili over the stove, talked about work, girls, the usual. Jake told me again how his grandmother used to warn him about Yinaldlushii, skinwalkers, creatures that could wear human skin, imitate voices perfectly, run faster than any animal. He said they only come out when someone breaks a taboo or when the land decides it's time to remind people who really owns it. I teased him like always. So if I whistle happy birthday tonight, one's gonna come steal my face? He didn't laugh as hard as usual, just stared into the fire and said, "Don't joke about it out here, man. Some things listen." We turned in around 10 p.m. Clear sky, billions of stars, slight breeze. I fell asleep fast. I woke up sometime after 2 a.m. needing to pee. Jake was zipped into his bag, snoring softly. The same little whistle on the exhale he's had since we were 15. I slipped my boots on quietly, grabbed my headlamp, and stepped outside the tent. The night was colder than I expected. My breath fogged. I walked maybe 15 feet away, did my thing against the juniper, and started back. That's when I heard Jake's voice from inside the tent. "Dude, where'd you go?" Exact tone, groggy, slightly annoyed, the way he always sounds when I wake him up too early on camping trips. I smiled to myself. Just taking a leak. Go back to sleep. Silence for a few seconds. Then again, clearer this time. Hurry up and get back in here. It's freezing. I stopped walking. Jake was still snoring. I could hear it clearly through the thin nylon, that same rhythmic whistle. But the voice came from inside the tent. My headlamp beam shook as I turned it toward the door. The zipper hadn't moved. Jake's sleeping bag was still zipped all the way up, his shape completely still. The voice spoke again, impatient now. "Seriously, Alex, get in here. I swear something just moved out there." Every hair on my body stood up. I backed away slowly, hand on the bear spray, clipped to my belt. "Jake," I whispered toward the tent. The snoring cut off instantly. Then the tent zipper started moving very slowly from the inside. I bolted around to Jake's side and shook him hard through the fabric. He jolted awake with a gasp. "What the fuck, man?" The zipper stopped halfway. We both stared at it in the red glow of his headlamp. Nothing else moved. Jake's voice was hoarse. "Why are you shaking me like that? You okay?" I told him everything. He went completely white, even in the dim light. I was dead asleep. I didn't say a word. We sat up the rest of the night back to back, headlamps on full, knives out. Every small sound, wind in the junipers or rock falling somewhere, made us jump. At one point, we both heard footsteps circling the alcove, light and quick, like a coyote, but too deliberate. Dawn finally came. We packed in record time and hiked out without speaking much. On the drive home, Jake kept looking in the rearview mirror at the empty desert behind us. 2 weeks later, I was at my apartment in Salt Lake. 3 a.m., phone rang. Jake's name on the screen. I answered fast. "You okay?" His voice, breathless and terrified. "Alex, Help me. I'm still out there. I got separated. Something's following me. Please come get me. My stomach dropped. Jake, where are you? Heavy breathing on the line. Same trailhead. I came back alone like an idiot. It's close now. Hurry. I knew instantly something was wrong. We'd had dinner together 6 hours earlier. He was asleep at his place across town. I texted him on the other phone. Call me right now. He rang from his landline 30 seconds later, voice thick with sleep. What's going on? I asked if he called me. No, my cell's on the nightstand charging. We both check call logs. There it was, outgoing call from his phone to mine at 3:02 a.m., duration 48 seconds. But he hadn't touched it. We didn't go camping again that year. Jake moved to Denver in January, said the desert was starting to feel too crowded. I thought it was over. Last week I was driving home late from work. My phone rang, private number. I answered on Bluetooth. My mom's voice. Soft, exactly like before she died of cancer 12 years ago. Sweetheart, I'm lost. Can you come find me? It's so dark out here. I almost swerved off the road. I haven't told anyone. I deleted the voicemail without listening. But sometimes when I'm alone in the apartment at night, I hear 3 soft knocks on the inside of my bedroom closet door. And a voice, my own voice, whispering from the dark. Let me in, it's cold out here. I sleep with every light on now. And I never, ever answer when something calls my name. If you're still here after that one, the next story gets worse. This happened on a Navajo reservation, and the poster still refuses to say their real name. I grew up on the Navajo Nation in northern Arizona. Our house was on the outskirts of a small chapter community, close enough to have neighbors, far enough that the desert felt endless at night. Everyone knew the rules. Don't whistle outside after sunset. Don't pick up things that don't belong to you. And if you hear someone call your name from the dark when you know you're alone, never, ever answer. My older sister, Aileen, broke that last rule when she was 17. It was summer 2015. She'd been fighting with our mom about college. Mom wanted her to stay close. Aileen wanted to leave the res and never come back. One night, after a big argument, Aileen stormed out around 9 p.m., said she was going for a walk to clear her head. She never came home. We searched for weeks. Tribal police, BIA, volunteers on horseback, helicopters. They found her phone 2 miles from the house. Screen cracked, battery dead. No footprints leading away. Just hers going out, then nothing. Like the ground swallowed her. The elders said it was a skinwalker, that she'd answered something calling her name that night. Mom refused to believe it. She still sets a plate for Aileen at dinner every year on her birthday. 10 years passed. I moved off the res for work, but I come home every summer to help Mom with the sheep and the house. Last week, I was there alone. Mom had gone to visit our aunt in Flagstaff. I stayed to fix a leaking roof before monsoon season hit. First night back, everything felt normal. Hot day, cool evening, crickets loud. I grilled mutton outside, drank a Coke, went to bed early. Around 2 a.m., I woke to knocking on the front door. 3 slow knocks. Pause. 3 more. No one visits that late on the res. Ever. I grabbed Dad's old .22 from under the bed and went to the window. Porch light was off, but moonlight showed the empty dirt yard, the sheep pen, the road stretching into nothing. Knocking again. Softer this time. Then a voice, female, young, familiar. Let me in, it's cold out here. My blood stopped moving. It sounded exactly like Aileen. Same slight, rasp from years of smoking stolen cigarettes as a teen. Same way she said, in a little longer than most people. I whispered through the door, "Who is it?" The voice laughed softly, her laugh. "It's me, silly. Open the door." I didn't move. She knocked again. "Come on. I've been walking all night." I finally found my way home. Tears started running down my face. I hadn't heard that voice in 10 years, but I knew the stories. I knew what they do. I backed away from the door and sat on the couch with a rifle across my lap. Lights on. Didn't sleep. At dawn, the knocking stopped. I waited another hour before going outside. Nothing. No footprints in the soft dirt. Sheep were calm. I told myself it was a dream. Grief playing tricks. Night 2, same thing. Knocking at 2 a.m. This time the voice was closer, right against the door. "I know you're in there. I can smell the coffee you made yesterday." Exact thing Aileen used to say when she wanted some. I shouted through the door, "You're not my sister." Silence. Then scratching, long, slow nails down the wood. I loaded the rifle. The scratching stopped. Footsteps walked around the house, slow, deliberate, to the back door. Knocking there now. Then the voice again, whispering through the kitchen window. Remember when we used to sneak out and watch the stars? You promised you'd always let me back in. I almost broke, but our grandmother's words echoed in my head. They know everything about you. Every memory, every secret. That's how they get inside. I stayed silent. Eventually the footsteps faded. Night 3, no knocking. Instead, singing. Eileen's favorite song, an old Navajo lullaby our mom used to sing us. Coming from a sheep pen, I looked out the window. A figure stood among the sheep. Tall, thin, wearing a white dress that glowed faintly in the moonlight. Long black hair down its back. It was facing away from the house, stroking a lamb's head, singing in Eileen's voice. The sheep didn't run. They never run from it. I closed every curtain and prayed until sunrise. Day 4, Mom came home early. I didn't tell her everything, just said I heard coyotes acting strange. That night we both stayed up, talking in the living room. Lights on, doors locked. 2 a.m. came, knocking on the front door, then the back door at the same time. 2 sets of knocks. Mom froze. Who's at the back? I shook my head. Then voices, both doors. Eileen's voice from the front. Mom, let me in. I miss you. From the back, my voice. Exact tone, exact accent. Mom, it's me. Open the door. She's not who she says she is. Mom looked at me in pure terror. We sat there until morning, holding each other, praying out loud. Nothing got in. I left the next day. Mom moved to town with our aunt permanently. The house is empty now, but here's why I'm posting this. 3 nights ago, I was in my apartment in Phoenix, 300 miles away. 2 a.m., knocking on my door. Soft. 3 times. Then her voice through the door. I finally found you again, little brother. Let me in. I walked so far to get home. I haven't opened the door. I haven't slept. Last night, the knocking stopped. Instead, my phone rang. Unknown number. I didn't answer. Voicemail notification. It's a 30-second clip of that lullaby. In Eileen's voice. Perfectly clear. I live on the 7th floor. There's no one outside my door. But sometimes when it's really quiet, I hear footsteps in the hallway. Slow, patient, waiting for me to make a sound. So I stay silent. Always silent. Because if it learns I'm still listening, it might try a different voice next time. That's it for tonight. If either of those stories hit too close, comment below. You're not alone. Keep your doors locked, and whatever you do, don't answer if it uses a voice you know. See you tomorrow.